Hi everyone, it's Mel here and welcome back to Mel's Blind Life, the YouTube channel all about blindness. Welcome to a blind equestrian video. It is such a beautiful day today and I'm just briefly going to explain the different names for genders of horses and the basics of horse breeding. Horses, obviously, like all other mammals, come in male and female. Horses have to mate in order to produce offspring, and the horse who has the offspring is called a mare, which is a female horse. Now, when mares are mated, they are usually put in a paddock with a stallion, and they can usually a mare's cycle in season is between spring and autumn or fall if you're in the States, and they come into season once every 20-ish days in that time. So you can really have them mating with a stallion anytime in those sort of 6-ish months. So when a mare falls pregnant, she usually only has one infant. It is very rare that equine twins are born healthy and continue to thrive, but it does happen. I actually had the privilege of riding a horse who was a equine twin when I first moved here to Mildura. I will put a photo as the thumbnail of myself on that horse. That was Firefly. She was an equine twin, and as I said, that is very rare that they survive. So when a mare falls pregnant, she is pregnant for approximately 10 months before she has her foal. So the foal is the name of a baby horse. When it is born and the handlers figure out what gender it is called either a colt foal if it's male or a filly foal if it's female. At 12 months of age, so when they are what's called a yearling, they are just called colts and fillies. They're not called colt foal or filly foal anymore. Sorry, I can't talk. So after that age, this is probably when a colt foal would get gelded, and that is the procedure done to male horses to stop them from being able to reproduce. So when a colt foal or colt is gelded, he is just called a gelding. Now with mares and fillies and colts and stallions, it's a little bit different. Mares don't get spayed at all. There is no surgery that is done to mares to stop them from being able to reproduce. So that is all about management on the property for the property owners to know when their mares are in season, and if they don't want them to become pregnant, they shouldn't put them in with a stallion. So when a colt foal is a yearling, as I said, he is just called a colt. Unless he is gelded, he is still called a colt until he is 4 years of age, and then he is called a stallion. Mares, filly foals, they are called until they are a yearling. Then they're just called fillies until they are also 4 years of age. Now horses aren't fully grown and fully developed until they are about 4 or 5 years of age. Some horses, some breeds, a little bit older than that. So when you think about it, a prime time for a mare to begin being mated with a stallion isn't really until she's about 4 or 5 years old. So she's not fully developed until she's around 5 years old. Some people prefer not to start training them or breaking them in until they are that age, and it is strongly not advisable that you use a horse for anything like jumping or really heavy endurance and stuff like that until they are sort of 6 or 7 years of age, so that they have all of their bones fully developed, just to avoid causing any injury. So what about life expectancy for horses? Horses, they can live for approximately 25 to 30 years old. I have heard of horses living older than that, but the average life expectancy is between 25 and 30 years old. Usually you would probably consider not working a horse, so stopping riding it and stuff like that, depending on its health, sometime around the sort of 25-year-old mark. So you can probably get a good 20 years of riding out of a horse. Most racehorses are broken in quite young, at about 2 years of age. You will have horses starting to race, and they then are retired from racing when they're only about 8 or 9 years of age, sometimes a little bit younger than that, and then some go into breeding, some go into other programs, and some meet a nasty end. But for horses that are bred at a proper breeding facility, some horses might not be trained until, as I said, they're 4 or 5 years old. So a filly or colt would be weaned from its dam or mum somewhere around 6 months of age, and then some places, really big places, put their horses out to pasture for a couple of years in herds, and then they don't bring them in and start training them until they're 3 years old or so. So it just depends on the discipline and the person and stuff like that, when they start bringing their horses into work. Personally, if I had a foal right from the beginning, I probably would put it out to pasture after it's been weaned from its dam, and then only start working it when it was 3 years old. Get it used to being handled and things like that. Maggie's looking at a bike or something on the road there. I don't know if you can see. That's what she's looking at. I think they must have had a radio or something, because it was weird sounding voices. So yeah, I personally would probably leave a horse out to pasture until it was around 3 years of age, and then I'd start halter breaking it, and then I'd start settling it when it was 4 or 5, probably 4, so that it is old enough and strong enough to be ridden. So that is a bit of a summary about horse life expectancy and the different names for mares and stallions and geldings and everything like that. Maggie, obviously being a female, she is a mare, and she is not a filly because she's 11 years old. So she, are you 11 or 12? Wait, 11? That's right, thank you. So she was born in December of 2008, which means that she's 11 years old now. So she's well past being a mare. So I hope that that has helped if you're a little bit confused about all the crazy different names for horses, and a little bit about their life expectancy and everything like that. And I hope you've learned something, and thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like this video, share it with your friends and family. Ow, don't headbutt me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click the bell notification to get more updates about blindness, low vision, guide dogs, horses, and everything in between. So thanks for watching. Bye.